All right, in this email, and if you got drama going on in your life and you want to share it with us, hit us up at thebertshow.com. So it says, Bert Show, I want opinions from you guys and hopefully some men in your audience. All right, dudes, 1-855-BERT Show. I want to know your thoughts on guns. Oh, God. And more, and more specifically about women who have them. I was dating someone for about a month. I don't want to use his real name, but to make the situation easier to explain, I'm just going to call him Alan. Like I mentioned, Alan and I dated for a month. He did not hesitate to tell me how much he really liked me. He seemed to think we had a lot of potential. We joked that I was going to have to be the one to slow our relationship down because he liked me too much to keep things at a reasonable pace. I thought his eagerness was sweet because I really liked him too. We liked each other so much that I had already met his family. They also seemed to really like me, and he told me that I really impressed them all. He was going to meet my family when they came to visit me next month. Well, out of the blue, he broke up with me. He gave me very little explanation. He just said he realized that he didn't think we were compatible. I found that incredibly odd and confusing. He had given me no indication that he had felt that way. It seemed like his feelings for me and our relationship just switched off like a light. So when I told my friends about it, they insisted something had to happen. They made me walk through in detail everything that we had done and discussed the day before. And the one thing that stood out to my friends as notable was that he found out that I had a gun for protection. My friends seemed to think that would have been a huge turnoff for him. Well, I texted him right then and flat out asked if the gun was an issue, and he seemed to admit that it was. So this seems really strange to me and not a reason to break up with someone. So I want to know from other guys, is this a deal breaker for anyone or for most guys? If so, why would it be? 1-855-BERT Show. No, it would not be a deal breaker for me either. You asked, how do we feel about guns? I've told you guys before that for safety reasons, I would love to have a gun in my house, and I don't have a problem with it at all to protect my family. Just personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable walking around with a gun, but I also would not be put off by anybody that is.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is different. Obviously, for me personally, my dad has been in law enforcement for the majority of my life, so he always had a weapon in the home, and he was always big on gun responsibility and safety. So being around him is like not new to me, but that's me. I mean, I think some people are different. I know guys who they don't want to be around one ever for any reason. It's just not their thing. So maybe he's one of those guys, and if so, then obviously he's just not the guy for you. I don't think she should take it personally, but also at the same time, every guy's not going to be like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you have one in your home for protection, that's one thing. If you've been carrying one while we were on dates and I didn't know about it, I would definitely feel a certain way about it. And I think it's just everybody's own personal experience with firearms. And so I've never really looked at it as traumatic, but it was a traumatic experience that I had years ago, and it didn't happen to me. I just happened to be there to bear witness. So I'm not a fan of guns, and it's just because of my history.
I can certainly see that if that was part of somebody's value system, that they felt so strongly about it, that I'm just so anti-guns that if you're carrying one, it says something to them about you, and that's why they broke up with you. And maybe he just felt that way. I don't feel that way, but maybe he did.
See, for me, it wouldn't be what it says about you. It's just my own personal comfort level. So it's what it says about me, not so much what it says about you. If that's what makes you feel safe and makes you feel comfortable, that's fine. It however, has the opposite effect for me.
If you are on a date with somebody carrying around a gun, when do you want them to tell you that? Like right off the bat?
First date for me.
Yeah.
First
Absolutely.
date.
Yeah.
Good morning, Chris. You are part of the Bert Show. Thanks for joining the convo. What you got?
Yes, sir. No, so I mean, it's all personal preference. I've met plenty of people that have decided, that they just didn't want it in the area that they are at the time. But I mean, I got my CWP, my wife has hers. You just never know what's going to go on in the environment or where you're at that time in life. It's just all 100% personal protection.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be one answer here. I think it's just going to be, for some reason, this guy really is anti-guns, and that's probably why it was a deal breaker for him. But as far as getting a general consensus, I don't think we're gonna. Hey, Chris, good morning. You're on the Bert Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
I was gonna say simply, it's nothing wrong with your girlfriend or your wife having a gun. My wife actually carries her. I even bought hers for her.
Okay. So again, it's going to be one of those personal preferences thing.
It is.
This guy, for whatever reason, this is part of his value system. And if you're a gun owner, that's just like not something that he's down with. So it was a deal breaker for him.
The Bert Show.
So first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get the Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.